According to my computer. Probably.
Have a seat, young lady.
Are you Jordan?
Oh, we've got
Nice to meet you.
we've got the Zoom.
I've gotten so many emails from you. Now I know what you look like. Fantastic.
She's the Zoom girl.
Sorry, I left my shoes under there.
Well, there's
I just messaged you and said, don't bother coming. That's right, you grew up here.
Well, we got, I hope you know how to work Zoom better than some of the people around the table.
I thought you were gonna say better than me.
Yeah, right.
And you have something where you can write down all the people.
Yes, sir.
that are on.
David Roby told me about Zoom, and I told him how to do it.
Yeah?
But if he doesn't come in, maybe you can call him or something, because I know he wants to
Well,
be here.
whatever.
It's just a link. What can you do?
Yeah, if you can click on the.
I told him how to do it, he said, oh, good.
Oh,
He's done it before.
By this
Zoomed
time
into
of
that.
the year, most people should know how to sign into Zoom.
Oh, you know.
It doesn't always work that way.
I know.
What you got there?
I'm just looking at this.
It's a
We have
baking
four,
show?
that's all.
Are you gonna read something good that we can make it?
Some of these fingers,
Come on.
enormous fingers.
Bill Malcolm.
You know, Malcolm, he has a family
Oh,
thing that he can't come. You notice I have shoes
Feels
already
very
on.
I'll tell you that.
John's here.
And somebody was getting on, and I'm not mentioning names.
It's down.
Right there?
I think we just needed that.
Want to join us here?
I'm gonna call it 7 o'clock, and the first item up, which we always do, is the minutes of the last meeting, and somebody found the name of somebody that isn't listed already to be added to the minutes.
Yes.
too. And that is,
Colleen Hardy, which is Harty. So it was communicated to me.
any other changes or amendments or corrections to the minutes of the last
In the
meeting?
salaries of district official, number 6, it's the 4th bullet point under review and vote on warrant articles.
Okay.
It says Mrs. Brotman moved the amount of 1,02. There's something wrong with the figure.
Where are you
We
at?
already fixed that.
Oh, you already fixed it?
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
1025.
Then I must be looking at a different version. It's 102.5? Okay. That's it for me.
Any other changes, corrections, amendments?
So moved.
Second,
Is that plugged in, is that on?
Those in favor?
Aye.
the Zoom is not.
Hey, yeah, you have to wait a minute. I
Okay.
need to know who moved that, sorry.
Wilkes moved it, I seconded it.
Judy seconded, unanimous approval, right?
We were trying to fix the Zoom.
Okay,
I'll ignore it. Go ahead.
okay.
All right, I think the greater interest is in the school, and at least in terms of the public participation and the people that are here that have a ways to go to get home. So I would like to do the school first and then get to the town. And and to review the procedure, what we'll do is we'll go with each warrant article, working off the warrants, and the budget committee's role is to recommend or not recommend, and if we not recommend, we can put out and recommend an alternative number. So what I will do for each article is I'll give a quick summary of the article
Okay.
off the warrant, then I'll open it up for any comments from the public. Then, rather than go through a formal close the public hearing, go into a meeting, close, we'll just go directly to just the budget committee. Once we go to just the budget committee, public does not speak unless a specific question is addressed to a specific person by a member of the budget committee. Then we will vote to recommend or not recommend, and if we not recommend an alternate figure. Then we'll go on to the next article. And almost every one of these has been hashed around for quite a while, and I know not everybody's gonna agree with every one. So with that introduction, the first article up, now we only vote to recommend on the ones that have money in them. And the first article up is the operating budget for the school. And the school board has proposed $8,404,274. So, it's now open to public comments. Anyone here want to make a comment or suggestion on the school's budget? And would you identify yourself
Sure.
about that?
My name is Lee Prince. I live in the Dixon House across from the school. I'm concerned about the significant decrease in this budget before you from previous budgets, which were at more educationally sound levels while being sensitive to taxpayers. I'm concerned that such a steep cut will result in significant loss of needed programs and support for our students and teachers. This district has been and continues to be in a period of great transition between administrative models and transition to 21st century skills in accordance with the national and state standards. Some have focused their attention on the academic director position. I believe that our academic director has been working hard to develop a roadmap for the school in terms of curriculum and instructional models. There have been many valuable changes in recent years, especially to the delivery of middle school education in response to our changing world, the different needs of this generation of learners, and the skill expectations for students upon entering high school. Although some of this work may have been curtailed due to COVID and then her assuming an interim principal role, it seems to me that the institutional knowledge, data-driven curricular planning, and skills of our academic director will be essential as the district moves to begin writing a new strategic plan. While it is reasonable to assess the long-term need for this position with a shift back to a superintendent and principal administrative model, eliminating the academic director position whilst the permanent administration is not even fully hired seems premature and detrimental at this juncture. I would suggest that it would be beneficial to allow administration to evaluate the organization of responsibilities, consider changes that have occurred in the years since implementing the district admin model, and identify how best to meet those needs with thoughtful transition of roles and responsibilities in a sustainable way. The other lines that the school board reduced in the budget were to library and technology education. The library media specialist / tech integrationist is an educational position with two interconnected focus areas, library and educational technology implementation. It seems to be the technology integrator aspect of this role that the board would like to eliminate. This educator works directly with students and teachers to implement the use of technology into instruction, collaborates with and trains teachers in technology use to support learning, and provides direct instruction in technology skills and digital citizenship to students in accordance with information and communication technology standards. Without this position, learning will absolutely be lost. The school finally has the three support aspects in place to address the technology and educational needs. There is now network data, technology administration support through a contract with a tech coordinator, support for IT to address hardware and connectivity the teachers have been requesting for years, and the educational professional to support implementation of technology for teaching and learning. These are three different and essential functions. The library media specialist / tech integrationist is a necessary member of the teaching team to meet the objectives put forth on the current strategic plan, and a resource the teachers have stated is very important. I feel the cuts the board made in these areas on the budget before you produce short-term savings with potential significant negative long-term consequences. I respectfully ask that you restore the budget by adding $73,221 with recommendation that $36,597 be added to technology, budget line 1120, and $36,624 to library, line 2220. Thank you.
All right, I just want to say what I have in numbers, because in the most recent proposal, it is, the library was reduced 9.33%, if I'm looking correctly at the line item. And the technology line item went up 137%.
No. Went up 137%?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's because you recoded the position, right? I think that it was the library media specialist, instead of the salary being fully in the instruction line, half of it and half the benefits went to the technology line. That was why technology increased in that way. So it's not a true increase, it's just moving. There were many positions that the current administration felt weren't appropriately coded. For example, the special education line looks like it's decreased, and that was moving people out of the special education lines into their like appropriate codes. So, yeah, so I would just interpret the percent increase and decrease relative to last year, ask, before you interpret it as an actual decrease, or an actual increase in some cases.
Well, that was just what I was looking
Yeah.
for.
Okay.
If,
The-
can I ask
so-
Dick? if-
Like, it-
Sorry, those were the lines that at the school board meeting were specifically
Identify.
identified.
If
Alright.
she's
Some of
asking
them.
for specific amounts be added to lines, can I make sure I get that in writing?
Yeah, what were your specific times and the line code numbers for the minute
Here, I
taker?
have it.
And the amounts?
Yeah,
It's 30, so the line 1120 is 36,597,
Okay,
and line 2220 under the library is 36,624.
thank you.
any other public comments from people in the room? Any public comments from anybody on Zoom?
Yeah.
There we go.
Hi, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes.
Terrific. I'm Kristen Roth. I live on Baker Hill Road, and I have 3 children who are Lyme School and Hanover High School graduates. I really want to say, first of all, I appreciate the hard work that the school board and the budget committee have put forward in reviewing and revising the school district budget. I am concerned that the proposed budget before you is insufficient and will negatively impact our school and community going forward. We're asking a lot of our schools and staff, especially with the challenges of the past few years. Our system has been stressed physically, emotionally, and operationally, and our school needs to recover from and prepare our students for the future, including a greatly increased reliance on technology and a need to evaluate and use information and data wisely and appropriately. And with the prevalence of things such as disinformation and apps like ChatGPT, media literacy and technology is even more important. I'm concerned that further reductions in staff and student resources and support will increase stress on an already stressed system. And I ask that the budget committee add back into the budget, and I'm going to refer back to Lee's comments because I did not get a chance to hear all of them, but I know that she was also talking about specific budget lines. The money for the tech integrator position, I believe it is a total of $73,211 out of both the technology budget line and the library budget line. I know these are really hard discussions for the committee and for the town. Thank you.
Now, any other public,
There was another one right here. Maybe.
Just tell her. Rebecca, she's unmuted you, so go ahead. Unmute yourself. Yeah,
Hi, sorry, I was actually just clapping in support of Kristen's comments and Lee's comments. Thank you.
Is that it?
last chance for the public, yell, wave madly and Zoom. All right, we're now to the budget committee. Does any member of the budget committee have any questions they wanna ask or comments they wanna make before we entertain a motion with a number in it?
I have one, so how much of the budget has the high school trust, how much is coming out of the high school trust with the current budget that you submitted?
50,000.
50,000, okay.
All right, I would, before we do the motion, just for the benefit of the public, the budget committee does not vote on individual lines, we vote on a total. And we leave it up to the school board and the school administration to decide how that money is going to be distributed between all the various lines that you see that are accounting measures. So the budget committee's concern is the total amount of money appropriated for the operation of the schools. Not how much goes to the library or how much goes to the health services or food services.
I would say that the line items are our concern,
Yeah.
but they are not what we vote on.
That's great.
Yep.
Well put.
Now, the budget we have before us is a little different than what I had in my little worksheet. It's
8,474,274.
404,274.
Which is a 5.79% increase from last year.
5.8% or something.
Yep.
Do I hear a motion to either move that?
I will move
Budget.
that.
I'll second it.
Wilk second. Motion on the floor is to recommend Article 2 to the tune of $8,404,274 by roll call vote,
I would like to,
unless you want to amend.
yes, I would like to amend that, and I can amend that with a motion to add $70,000 to that bottom line.
Do I hear a second for the motion to amend?
Can I ask your reasonings?
Yes, my reasoning is basically based on the public comments we heard tonight and my understanding of the position of some of the school board and also the community at large, that that $70,000 would represent the ability to make it easier for the school board to retain those positions that directly affect the programs at the school.
Any other comments people want to make on this before we vote on the amendment to add $70,000?
What would the percentage be total then? What would the increase if we go from 5.8 to?
8.4 to
It's like
8.47%.
0.7% more.
It wouldn't be up to that
That's
age.
not-
No, I'm saying those, I can't do the
It'll be
math to get
6 something probably, but
Be in low, in the
It's
low
about
sixes.
1% per
Well,
hundred.
what was it the last time before they cut the 7? It was
It's almost 1%.
7.1.
It's almost 1%.
1% is like 79,000,
Yeah.
so it'd be almost 1%.
so
It'd be a little bit more.
It'd be
So
up
it'd be
to about 6 3/4, somewhere in that range.
almost 7, be 6, 8 or so.
6.8%.
Without accounting for the $50,000
I was
that's
gonna
in
say,
the
what's the
warrant
line?
article.
That's
gonna be the
already in there.
next.
We're only concerned with not,
Right, but you're only talking about the operating budget, but
Yeah.
fundamentally,
Oh, yeah,
if
that
we
comes
vote for
later.
the 50,000, that's gonna be part of the,
that's gonna add
but
money.
it's gonna add money to what we're
Yeah,
raising
but
that
we're gonna
year.
treat that separately.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna call for a roll call vote on the amendment to add to add 70,000. John? Yea or nay?
Nay.
What?
Nay.
No,
Oh. Jennifer?
Nope,
Judy?
no,
Rich?
No.
James?
Yes.
Sue?
yes,
Wilks?
No.
Bill? Malcolm is excused absence. Brian?
No,
I have
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 no, and 2 yes. The motion does not carry. So we're back to the original proposal of $8,404,274. Any further comments on it? All right, roll call vote. John?
I'm sorry, what's the vote on again?
The original article of
8,404,274, yes.
Yay,
Okay.
yes. Jennifer?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Wilts?
Yes.
Bill isn't here. Brian?
Yes.
Did you get James?
You
Coonan?
missed
You didn't get
James.
James.
No, I was.
Skipped right over you.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's that.
Yes.
You're voting yes also. All right. So therefore, we have 8 yeas.
Correct.
Just so people know, as chair, I do not vote except to break a tie. The beauty is I don't have to go on record on any of these.
Yeah, it's a big secret.
We know you want to.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. All right, the next article we have on the school warrant is a $50,000 appropriation to do basically an engineering study of the correct modifications, whatever. You wanna just briefly say what this will be,
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, we can, that's up to you.
Go right ahead, you're representing the board.
Yep, so the facilities committee this year heard from the administration on some recent, I guess, audits that were done. And the administration's desire to renovate, in particular, 3 classrooms and the cafeteria. So the issue is that there's asbestos in the tiles that either compose or are underneath the floor. So if the renovation's going to be done, there's going to have to be mitigation of that asbestos. And as I understand it, in the intervening time, we've learned that the tiles themselves are crumbling, so we can assume that the asbestos isn't necessarily inert anymore. The cafeteria also has lead paint on the walls, and that's an issue, in part because there was this art installation put up, holes were put in the walls, and so that also needs to be addressed. There's some exterior of the building shingles that I believe also have asbestos issues related to them. So we thought about it, and we really don't know how much it might cost to sort of do the maintenance on the building that we believe as a school board needs to be done. But if there is this asbestos mitigation issue, our belief is that we should do this all at once, right, over the summer or something. And we shouldn't, if we piecemeal it, it's gonna be much more expensive. So what this warrant article aims to raise money for is to have an engineering or architecture firm that understands school design to come in and do, kind of surveil the scope of what's necessary, put that all down on paper. And our expectation is, as a board, that what we'll likely want to try to do, potentially to start the process anyway next year, is probably try to bond, right? Because the amount of money that is gonna be needed to make the associated repairs is probably significant enough to do that. So, so this $50,000 will allow Janet to make an RFP and sort of put the call out to firms to give us bids. This is just to do the analysis and the sort of see what's happening. We don't actually know that $50,000 is the right figure, but it's an estimate that's been given to us as it will not exceed that amount. So we'll have enough to do to accept an RFP, a reasonable RFP.
Right. So the object here is to get to the point where you can go out for bids with an expectation of how much money it's gonna cost to get this done. And at this point in time, you don't have the professional knowledge to know what needs to be done.
Right, some of it is discovery. We need to really have a really good handle on what the needs exactly are. We know there are the problems that,
Yeah.
Jen has, but we're not sure if there may be others, so. professional help is called for.
Any questions or comments from the public first? Anybody on Zoom have something they wanna say about this article?
Not seeing anything.
All right. Now, budget committee questions, John?
I'm concerned that Jen just said, used the words crumbling and lead paint, and I know you said that if it's not being moved, it's not dangerous, asbestos is not dangerous, but if it turns out that an engineering firm, architectural firm, identifies an actual risk at the moment, what would the school do, what would the town do?
There's some money in a trust fund they have for building maintenance and repairs that their school board is agents for. And there's not enough money to do what we envision as a long term, but there's enough money in it. How much is in that fund? About 20,000, I think, isn't it?
No, I
No,
think
I
it's
think
more
it's
than that.
more.
We put 43 in
All right.
last year. And I'll let Janet get the correct figure. I kind of have the ballpark in my head.
Yeah, let me.
And I don't believe, Frank can correct me if I'm wrong, are we gonna expend from that trust this year?
We might have to.
Right,
Only because the maintenance costs have gone way over budget.
right.
But I mean, there is a
So-
pot of money
Yeah,
there.
there is
repairs.
enough money to encapsulate and make safe
That's what I'm asking.
whatever we find, yes.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes, yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah.
Any other questions on this particular article? This is-
Just to clarify, the RFP is to assess the situation and make a recommendation for how to proceed,
Yes,
with a final plan to proceed.
right.
I actually have a number. Took me forever to find it,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So it's 93,370
Oh, that's a lot.
right now.
Yeah, so we're in fairly good shape in that for what may be emergencies that have to be done.
So along with what Jim Graham said earlier, I know our role is not to tell you how to spend the money, but I can express my hope that that would be a high priority.
Yeah, absolutely.
To at least determine if there's a risk.
Yeah, yeah. If we are aware of a safety concern, it is our duty to take care of that, to fix that.
Yeah, thank
We
you.
cannot ignore it.
All right, does someone want to move recommending the $50,000? Judy move? Do I hear a second?
Second.
James is a second? Those in favor of recommending $50,000 for the maintenance projects warrant article? John?
Yay.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Wilks? Yes. I'm done this.
Brian,
What?
Brian,
Brian?
Yes.
I guess we have a unanimous yeses. All right, the next article in the school warrant is to transfer any surplus that may occur up to $100,000 to the Maintenance Capital Reserve Fund. We've been talking about the future needs in this area. Any questions from the public about this? All right, any questions on Zoom? No? Do I hear someone moving?
I'll move it.
You gonna shoot it? John?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Wilks?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Have it as unanimous. The last article we have on the school that involves money is the salaries of school district officers for a total of $1,025.
So moved.
I'll second
That was
that.
quick for James.
I'll second that.
I'm assuming nobody in the public wants to challenge how much we pay the officers at $1,000 after we spent $8.5 million.
That's the total.
What?
That is the total.
That's the total.
Yeah, one time. Oh, who seconded it?
I did.
Oh, Jennifer. Those in favor, John?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Wilks?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Well, we got through the school a lot faster than I thought we were, but I thank you people for coming in and giving some input. We'll probably hear it again on the floor of the school district meeting. All right, now, next item is to go over the town warrant.
Thank you very much.
And thank you people for coming in
very much.
Drive safely, you guys.
Take it
Long
easy.
way to go.
And coming over here from Din, I was driving at 35 miles an hour down Route 10,
That's no good.
and
It's been
I
plowed.
only slid once.
Yeah, it's been plowed, I was behind the plow.
I'll try to slide 0.
It's not a good night to be out. Now, I'm waiting for people to quickly pen, to criticize me if I get these, any of these numbers wrong here.
I will, don't worry.
What do you mean, we're losing the whole
I
public
know.
audience?
Most of the people are going off Zoom too, so we're
Everyone's talking now.
only individual, that's okay. That's all right.
Is it possible this will all be rehashed again at the town meeting and?
Probably,
Possibly overruled?
probably, possibly.
Probably, it's a probable. Yeah, they'll talk about it.
Yes, you've
I don't
already
know if
talked
they'll-
about
I
it.
mean-
Bye-bye. Be
It'll
safe.
come up and it'll probably like somebody will attempt to amend the
Right.
budget, and what we'll be able to show is that there's not gonna be any impact. Like, people wanna put $70,000 back into the library and tech lines, there's not gonna be any impact on library or tech with how the school manages the funds.
Which is why we look at a total bottom line. And granted, if you're adding or subtracting, it's nice to give them a hint as to where you're thinking of. But it's not binding. Same thing goes with the town budget, except for, at least the operating budget. The others, the warrant articles put a specific amount of money in a specific capital reserve fund. No, they can't change that. That's the way it is. Unless you amend it on the floor of town meeting. All right, first item in the town budget is warrant article, it's now warrant article number 2, I guess, the operating budget.
No, it's.
No, it's 3. Warrant
Oh, it
article
stays
3.
3, all
It
right.
stays 3.
And it is 27,59,997.
And that number has not changed.
And that number has not changed since our meeting in November, I think.
Okay, we're very, very,
Our one member of the public left, would you like to make a comment? We haven't cut the fire department out of it. All right, do I hear somebody to move other than Judy? I don't think. All right,
I'll second.
Brian second.
Who moved it? I'm sorry.
Wilks.
Thank you.
Any comments, questions, or whatever from the budget committee? All right, John, those in favor of recommending 27,59,997. John?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Judy?
yes.
Rich?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Wilks?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
We're going, let's keep moving.
To the capital reserve funds, you will see we have gone back to what we originally presented, which is a 300 and,
390.
yes,
And it's spelled out how much money goes into which fund here.
correct.
And there was another sheet that went out explain, oh, that's in the, what comes out of the capital.
That's the other, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's
other
that
sheet,
one.
right. So
You-
you will notice that, yeah, these are going into the
Yeah,
reserve funds, so
it's the same as your last meeting.
it's the same.
The
as
warrant
you saw
article lists
before.
how much in which funds. And this is an article that is not up to the selectmen's discretion to change it, but it can be amended on the floor of town meeting.
Right. So it's 390,000 to the
It's a
capital
total of
reserve,
390.
which is 20,000 whopping dollars less than last year when it did capital reserve.
Yeah, right. Do I hear any comments or questions about it? Do I hear a motion to recommend 390,000? Somebody. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go with Brian
And Rich,
And Rich.
and Rich, second.
okay.
John,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes,
Rich,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
Wilkes,
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
All right, next one is to accept the New Hampshire rock grant estimated at 95,000.
So moved.
I'll second it.
John, unless you, do we have any
It's a
comments or
no-brainer,
questions before we take a vote?
You want the money or
It's a
not?
no-brainer.
Yeah, all right.
Yes.
It doesn't cost you a thing.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes,
Rich,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
Wilkes,
Yes.
and Brian.
Yes.
All right, the next article is to take money from the Public Works Facility Capital Reserve Funds to pay 81,717 on the
fires,
this firehouse bond.
Yes, it's fire station.
I think that's a no-brainer, because we already signed the contract.
It's a, don't change your mind now, right?
it's
Yeah,
built.
we'll like to change our mind.
Is that like the debt ceiling in our federal government?
Yeah, right.
Pretty
No,
much.
this is the already borrowed the
No.
money.
Don't.
No, it's
It took a 2/3 vote to,
to
Issue
take
the
out a
bond.
bond, yeah.
and it's a bond. Do I hear a motion to recommend? James
And Rich,
Send me. What's a bond?
and Rich,
yep,
John,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Judy,
yes,
Rich,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Sue,
yes.
Wilkes,
Yes.
Brian.
Yep.
And that was, we're moving right along here. Vehicle Capital Reserve Fund, to pay another year on the fire truck. 82,252.
So moved.
I'll second. It's
Any
just-
questions?
We had, somewhere we had a note about when that, the fire.
What do we have,
truck
2 more
is.
years or
Yeah.
3 more years on it?
I think two.
It pays off in 25,
20, yeah,
so.
the truck is, yeah.
Technically three.
By the time
three
we'll
town
have to
meetings.
buy another one.
Don't
Oh,
go there.
no.
We're not having
They
that
won't.
discussion tonight.
Yeah. All right, those in favor of the 82,252 recommendation, John,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes,
Rich,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
Wilkes,
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
Can I ask a quick fire, how much does breakout gear cost for a new person?
$4,400 per set.
What was 4,400?
breakout
Breakout
gear.
gear for a new
Oh.
volunteer.
Yeah.
helmet, gloves, boots, jackets, and pants. 44.
Simple.
You better make sure that they're gonna stay for a while when you spend that amount of money for each guy,
It's
person.
Or their average build and height and.
Yes, yes,
That's the
yes.
key. I'm trying to get everyone that's 6 feet, 200 pounds,
Yeah, right.
with size 10 shoes.
Lyme Fire Department will make national news, every single person
I was
has
gonna
been
say, be
cloned.
careful, this is not recorded, you'll be in trouble, you know.
Well, all right, this is Article 8 from the Vehicle Capital Reserve Fund for a 5-ton truck, 243,700.
Now, and I would like to say that, our road, agent would have liked to have been here, and I and Gina consulted at the last minute and said, we thought he's more valuable out on the road right now. He would have answered questions, he will be obviously at town meeting and probably little town meeting, so if there are specific questions, but this is the truck he chose, he feels it will meet his needs the best.
And if you see that other piece of paper, I sent out more information,
Yes.
with some details about the truck.
I don't know, they've changed a lot. The first one I remember buying when I was on the Board of Selectmen was less than 90,000.
Yeah, that was a lot of money back
So I
then.
had a question about, the truck that's getting retired. Is that going to, are we just taking it off the road, or are we, trading it in?
It's
or-
being traded in, that price factors the trade-in.
I got you, thank you.
Yeah, and what were stamps, Dick, as of yesterday, they're 63 cents.
Oh, yeah. Stamps back when he was first buying a $90,000 truck.
What was, do you have the value of the trade-in?
15,000.
15,000.
Well, the truck is like 15 years old or 16 years old. so-
Right, but you just spent a lot of money on it, right?
Yeah.
And how much?
No, not that one, actually, it's another one. I
Okay.
told you that last time, but it wasn't, I checked, it's Scott.
It was a different
It
one.
was the one that we're still keeping.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
is-
Don't you feel
this-
better?
you give
I
more
do.
I
this
do.
year.
I do
I
too.
know.
I hate to, like, we
Yeah,
probably
no,
spent
this
more
is,
than that.
They get
Okay.
pretty hard use.
Yeah, but, I mean, scrap metal. would be
Trade-in,
more than that.
yeah, the trade-ins, it's really
Almost nothing.
amazing how little, that's right. Sad.
One of them, I know, one year ended up plowing the parking lot at Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center.
I'm sure.
John,
I should know this, but it doesn't come from taxes.
this comes out of a capital
Roughly
reserve.
how much is in the capital reserve fund, and where does that money come from if it's not from taxes?
The vehicle
It's from
capital.
Article
taxes.
4, where we put money into this funds.
Okay, it's from another
It's
Tax.
capital reserve,
that we voted on already.
it was originally,
I had a sheet with all that on
Paid
it, but
for
I
by
didn't have a
us.
copy of
Okay.
it, I don't know. Oh, here it is, right here.
Deferred tax.
No, wrong one.
Trust me, nobody
yeah,
knows
it's,
that.
it's taxes go into the capital reserve funds, and then when you take it out, that's why we build it that way.
Okay.
We accumulated over time, and then we.
Okay,
buy
here we
more
go.
Rather than,
Vehicle,
Buying it.
capital reserve
Or
fund, before you put your 2023 in it, it has 523,517 roughly.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
but remember, we're taking 80,000 out on the fire truck
I
or
said
whatever it
roughly.
is, plus this.
Okay,
Yep,
thank you.
So, the 80,000 for the fire truck is also coming out of that.
Correct.
And what, do we have a vehicle being replaced next year, that, you know?
I can't
I have to
remember.
look at the thing. I
I'm
think-
guessing it'd
I
be one of the
should-
police cruisers.
Well, I think that's been bumped for one more year.
And that's about
The
60,000.
police cruiser.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be a
It'll be
little more than that.
120.
It'll
It
be
depends
a lot.
on what,
It should be, because those, that police cruiser, one of them, on the road 10 years later, you know, doing well.
it depends on which one they get. If they end up getting, like the one that Sergeant Elliott has, or if they end up getting the truck. The truck one was a little more expensive,
Right.
but they'll have to wait and see.
But it could make it out to Pond, Cummings Pond, once these, there's the cruiser can't.
trucks
Well,
are-
the cruiser's a four-wheel drive. It's
I
four-wheel
know,
drive.
but it still can't make it out to the pond.
Okay.
No, they don't look like
Anyway.
cars.
I will move the, Article 8.
The 243 something.
243.7 for the 5-ton truck.
Do I hear a second?
A second.
All right. John,
Yes?
Jennifer,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
Wilks,
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
All right. The other one is from the Class 5 Roads Capital Reserve Fund, 240,000 for Goose Pond Road.
Right.
And I think it was divided, at one point I saw things that says what were being done is like a 1, 2, and 3 phases
Yes, and
if the whole appropriation wasn't approved.
and this article is for all 3 phases. And I just had that piece of paper in my hand, but it's gone out. That's it. Job 1 is Goose Pond Section 1, it's approximately 1,300 feet by 22 feet wide from the bottom of Hughes Hill. I think you all got this information.
Yeah.
Jordan is ripping them off over there, they're on the other pile.
Oh,
She's quickly getting them to you.
Job 2 is a 3,408 foot long section by 22 feet wide, and this is 104 Goose Pond Road to the 4 corners, grading and paving. And job 3 is Goose Pond Road, section number 3, 10,953 feet long by 22 feet wide, 4 corners east to the town line, sweep, taction, and overlay. You did?
22 feet wide?
What?
The paving is 22 feet wide? I thought the standard was 20.
I think if we did 40, we'd be building a whole new road out there.
No,
40? Oh,
20,
no.
20 feet wide versus
Normally,
22.
most of the town roads are either 18 or 20. The paved roads, when we ground them down a number of years ago, 10 years ago, we widened them from 18 to 20. Because that was the standard then for rural
Right,
roads,
right,
was a 20-foot traveled way.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And the 22 feet, I don't know where that came from.
Came from
That's
Scott,
Yeah.
that's what it is now.
It wouldn't surprise me the way vehicles have gotten bigger and heavier, that they've gone up to a wider recommended width.
That's a
Now,
big
you have to
jump
be
in cost,
careful
too.
when you're putting an overlay on, if the layer underneath is only 20 feet wide, that extra 2 feet is just gonna break right off.
I'm pretty sure they know that. So, we're talking Article 9, which is all 3, this is the cost for all 3.
Does that include the block grant?
What do you mean?
Where's the block grant money going?
Yeah, if we need it, it will go to this project. We have leftover block grant to start 23 with, and then we have this
95.
240, and then you'll have the 95 from, or 100 or whatever you get for 23.
This sounds like an awful lot of pot for 250,000. The length of what they're doing.
They want to finish Goose Pond Road.
Right.
It's been
Once and for all.
partially done for quite a
It's
while.
been years.
Just in time to start over again.
Right.
Exactly, just in time for the next big rainstorm, it'll
Yeah.
take out
Over 3
the sides of it.
So it's just gonna ask, it's over 3 miles, right?
Yeah, it's over 3 miles.
Well, if you add it all together.
Three-
Yes,
If you add the
13,
10,009 and then the 13.
15,000 feet,
That's about-
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a lot, that's a long stretch of road,
Yeah,
because
five
it used to cost, I remember paying roughly $100,000 a mile for
Thank you.
paving a road, for just throwing a number out in the air.
Right.
So I'm not challenging the number of dollars for the amount that they wanna do. You can challenge the amount they wanna do. That's-
And these are firm numbers you got from a contract?
Well,
I'm only
240
hesitating
is not
because
the
nothing is
total
ever
cost of the
firm,
project.
yes.
The total cost of the project is like 400, because you gotta add in your block grant money from like this year, then next year. so the 240.
Well, that's what I was asking,
Right.
what's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
total
well-
cost of the project?
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't hear you say what's the total cost.
Well, I didn't, but
It's like 413,000 and some
413,000.
change. Yeah.
So moved.
James.
James,
I will second it.
thank you, Jen.
Much seconding going on here.
So exciting.
Well, I have to do it now, I might lose my vote next year. Judy too.
That's right.
Any further questions about this particular article?
Sounds cheaper than a driveway.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's a lot cheaper per foot.
and I think the people at Goose Pond Road will come to town meeting and give us all cake and ice cream.
It should be at least.
All right, John, let's go. John,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
Wilkes,
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
Okay, now for the fun part, warrant Article 10. At
We,
Where'd
a
it go?
special meeting of the Board of Selectmen, we voted to withdraw Article 10. We believe that a warrant Article 9, we would hope it would be voted for all three parts. It is time to finish the job out there, and if someone from the floor wished to challenge that, they could have that discussion at that time. So we didn't think we needed a second article.
that just focuses people on cutting the first one,
Well,
rather than amending
yeah,
200,000.
so Article 10 is no longer on the warrant.
All right, article,
But there's a new article.
There's a new
There's a
Article 10.
new Article 10,
This is
okay.
the
It used to be
old-
That's
other
right.
Article 11 is
This
now
one
10.
just-
The budget,
It
okay.
just bumped up.
and this is your firefighter safety equipment article.
Aaron looked a little
I was
concerned
like,
when you said you were withdrawing number 10.
It's like,
You're okay.
Would you like to address this, chief?
I'm happy to. Basically, we have gear that is reaching a date that we can no longer use for interior firefighting, so we need to acquire more gear. We have a good problem in that we have a lot of new people coming into the department, which I can tell you area towns would love to have as an issue. The negative side of that is that we do have to buy them equipment. So this is to get them equipped and get some long-term members equipped with gear that's up to current standards.
and they're all 6 foot, 200 pounds?
That would be great.
Size 10 feet?
We have everywhere from 8.5 to size 15 shoe. We have everywhere from 5'3" to 6'6".
Yeah.
See, now
It's-
I don't feel bad for not volunteering, because I need smaller shoes.
I've got
It caused a problem.
I've got a pair of 8s right now that are like
I
minty.
was gonna say, don't you have 4s? I thought you had a pair of 4s left too.
I feel like- So,
I don't
no,
know.
it's, I wish the costs weren't what they were. In 2 years, the cost went from roughly 2,500 to 4,400 for a set of gear. And it's the same as everybody else. It is what it is. I wish we had more ways to control that, but,
No wiggle room.
yeah.
So the number is 38,250 to withdraw from the firefighter safety equipment capital reserve fund.
And is that pretty much all that's in there?
No,
Oh. And do you have any Bessie Hall money that you're gonna be using in similar?
We used some last year. We will use some for additional pieces that we're gonna be.
The firefighters,
there's 64,722 in there right now,
So we'll be left with 22,000.
plus 20,000 from the 23.
All right. All I can say is the fire chief, when I was at Kodak, told me to only send people between 5, 10, and 6 feet with size 10, 11, and 12 shoes to the fire department.
It's the running joke, because it's hard. I mean, it's, yeah.
That that was the beauty of military personnel being assigned to a firehouse. All right,
I will move this.
Judy moved,
I'll second.
and Brian second.
And Darren, I just had a so this is 8 or 9?
9 sets.
9
Yep.
sets, yeah,
Yep.
okay, yep. That's what you gotta do.
We're lucky that we have people that we have to
To put them
buy
in.
the equipment for,
That's
is
right.
the way I look at it.
Yep.
We have 6
Because a
new,
lot of the volunteer fire departments don't.
No, we have 6 new on the far side, and we have 8 EMTs who in a month and a half will start a new class that's occurring in Lyme. So there's a lot going on. We're trying to build up hard and fast.
Good.
So,
All right.
Thank you.
Are we all ready to vote on the 38,250?
Yes.
Yes.
What's the main difference between 10 and 11? It just.
They're the same.
The
You just changed the number.
It's a new number
11 is the
for
new
the-
10, we
It's a
just changed the
renumbering,
number.
there's no difference.
Because they dropped an article, what used to be Article 11 is now Article 10, what used to be Article 12 is now Article 11.
Okay.
But the wording is the same as the old one.
Do you have the right warrant to look at, the new one?
I got your additional
Oh,
page.
that one, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. To recommend, 38,250. John?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes,
Wilks?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Say
Oh.
yes.
She's. Sorry, Aaron.
Yeah, well, you're gonna burn down.
Brian's gonna get some
I'm already
funny
going to
looks
hell
when his
anyway,
house.
so.
Nobody responds to
fire.
a chimney fire in your house.
I would respond,
Oh,
it would
God,
be
yeah.
so petty.
All right.
Kill him with kindness.
The Independence Day Special Revenue Fund, 6983. None of that money was raised by taxes. I assume that's
Correct.
roughly the balance of the account.
It is exactly the balance of the account.
Do I have any questions about that one?
Well, does it now become Article 12?
Yes,
Article
No,
12
it
becomes
becomes
11.
11.
It's 11.
It's
The
11.
loss of number.
Independence Day celebration is now.
The numbers, I'll give you a new copy with the, or you should have
You
a
should
new
have
copy
had
with
it in
the
his
changes,
packet.
yeah.
It's on this one now.
Yeah, look at the other one that you got
The numbers
tonight.
have changed, because they took one out.
Okay.
This is the special, is the Independence Day Special Revenue Fund. That's the money we collected from selling turkey dinners or whatever,
And
chicken dinners.
donations,
It's
it's
what
all,
you got
donations.
from selling Fourth of July stuff. The last year they had an Independence Day celebration.
All right, do I hear a move it?
So moved.
Wilks.
Seconded.
and James.
And James second.
Yep.
John,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Sue,
yes.
Wilks,
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
All right, former 13, now 12.
Correct.
This is the ongoing milfoil. We have some money left from previous years, don't we?
Yes.
And this is adding 25,960 and we getting it from where? DES
You're
and
getting
Conservation Fund?
50% of it from the state of New Hampshire, milfoil grant. And the other 50% is coming from what's left in the milfoil fund that the town has.
So there's
So
no new
there's
money.
no tax dollars,
No new tax dollars.
no.
Do I hear a motion
I
to
move on
James? Second?
Oh,
Sue?
Bill Ford's a good idea.
Okay.
All right, those in favor, John?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
James?
it. Yes.
Sue?
yes.
Wilks?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
All right, old 14, now 13.
Correct.
And this is the Cemetery Maintenance Gifts and Donation Fund. This is another fund that was set up with gifts. There was no tax money went into it, and this is essentially what's left in that account.
It
And
was
this
the
allows-
wise donation,
Yeah,
yes.
it was primarily, yeah. There was one person was the big donation for this. And we,
And they're gonna spend it this year.
oh,
They're gonna spend it all?
I think
What is
so.
it they said?
They're,
and this is the cemetery trustees
Right.
that
Good.
it's generally contract work.
it's a mapping program.
Oh,
and
it's new
gonna be
software.
great, we really, really, really need it.
All right.
It'll be fabulous.
Who would like to move this?
I'll move it.
Rich? Who will second?
I'll second.
James? And we're going John,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Wilks,
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
And you deleted the old 17, correct?
What was warrant article 17 when last we met for 99.5, the select board has withdrawn that article on the knowledge that the petition will include sufficient money to pay for
I
it.
see.
Excellent.
Now, we will have to meet again when the petition warrant articles come in, if any of them involve the expenditure of money.
Okay.
If they do not get a petition article involving money, we won't have to meet again. And that would be the 8th, is a set, when's the,
February 8th, Wednesday, February 8th.
so it would be 2/8,
You should plan on it.
Yeah,
You have
plan
it.
on a meeting.
I think you will.
You need to meet again.
Yep.
Tina, is that for more than just this one?
Is
It
what?
makes you so confident about that?
That you need to meet again?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you usually vote stuff twice anyway. You always have two public hearings. The first one's sort of like, you have it, and then, you know, you hope everybody's really confident with what they voted on, so it doesn't change at the second one.
At the
But I
second,
know that we're gonna have that one money one,
That's gonna come,
and there
yeah.
could be another.
there is the possibility of what they call a vote to reconsider at the second public hearing.
In which case, then you have to have a third,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know that you have to have a third one if you have because you're
You
reconsidering.
only have to if it changes the monetary amount up
Oh,
by
okay.
what you, by, I forget what the special
10%
word is.
rule?
No, it's not the
Significant.
10th, yeah, and it's like, okay, well, who judges that, you know, but.
I like to use the 10% rule for
Yeah, I know, the
Wednesday,
10%
February
rule
8th.
doesn't come in
I know,
until
but
town
it's-
meeting.
February 8th, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I thank everyone for putting up with us. I'm gonna take a motion to adjourn at 8:02,
Wow.
Yeah.
which really surprised me. I didn't think it would be that quick.
We're bringing
James
Jordan
moved
every
her
time.
house.
She made it fast.
And drive very carefully because I think the roads are getting kind of interesting.
Yeah.
This is what the
All right, kiddo.
cemetery